I'm here to bring you guys an update of a story that I presented to you guys about a month back. It was a beautiful young girl who went by the name of Vanity Cabrera. Vanity Cabrera was allegedly abducted by her mother at knife point. There was a high-speed chase, and in the end of the high-speed chase, Vanity ended up losing her life. Now, I'm here to correct some wrongs that were said in that video. After further analysis of this case and speaking to the family, I realized that the media hasn't been portraying the truth. Now, I reported in my video that Vanity was in fact taken by her mother at knife point, when that's not true. The family has come forth and said that they told the media that Pamela never took her daughter at knife point, but yet the media still chose to put this story out. And it really had me thinking, like, what could make the media, post such lies? And when I get done analyzing everything, you have to realize that that's only a call that could come up top. Maybe someone pressured the studio to release certain information, such as the mayor, maybe the chief of police. Now, the media released, just a little bit of information, but in this information, it detailed that, basically Pamela Cabrera abducted her daughter at knife point. The police, eventually got in a high-speed chase with Pamela. Pamela would go to make an exit, and she would have a head-on collision with the pond. Only I'm here to tell you now that this story couldn't be further from the truth. Now, in the last video, I explained to you guys that, the police reports just weren't adding up. One of the reports released by the media states that Vanity was found at the bottom of the lake, while in another report they state that Vanity was found in the passenger seat. When I saw that those two reports, basically didn't add up, I knew that the story wasn't being told. I told you guys it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that this full story has not been told to the public. Well, I've spoken to the family, and the family details that, Pamela Cabrera never abducted her daughter at knife point. There was no knife involved. So, it leads you to the question, why did the media choose to release this story, even though they knew it wasn't true? How did the media know it's not true? Well, the family told them themselves that Pamela never had a knife. But if you go and search this story right now, you will find article after article after article detailing that Pamela Cabrera came to the house, abducted her daughter at knife point, got in a high-speed chase with police, and eventually ended up killing her daughter. Now, here's where this story gets, a little off. There's an officer. His name is Mike Kittle. Now, Mike Kittle is in fact the officer that spotted Pamela Cabrera on the road first. He was the first one to cut on the lights, cut the sirens on, and pursue Pamela in this high-speed chase. Only Michael Kittle has kind of a history. Since 2016, Michael Kittle has been in 11 different car crashes in his state-issued vehicle. One of those accidents happened to be a head-on collision with an undomesticated animal. 3 of those collisions happened to be with, him chasing other criminals. But I want you to know that out of all 11 of those reports, Michael Kittle has never been disciplined once. There is no disciplinary action taken against Michael Kittle, even though he has been involved with 11 different car crashes in 11 different circumstances. Now, how in the hell a police escapes no disciplinary action? I don't get it. How we never face disciplinary action, I'll never understand that. Something about this story is off. Everything about this story reads that the media is helping cover this up. Everything about this story reads that they are trying to suppress the real story, because when it all boils down and Pamela goes to court and she speaks her truth and she tells what I think happened, which I'm going to get into in a minute, they're just going to pass it off as, well, she's bipolar, she's schizophrenic, so there's no way in hell that she could be telling the truth. I want you guys to understand that Pamela Cabrera loved her daughter very much. Again, due to the family's testimony, Pamela was there for her daughter. She had a lot of love for her. She took good care of her. Mental health is a real issue. And I think that the police are trying to use this as a kickstand, you know, basically to get out of trouble. The police are trying to suppress what really happened. I want to know why Michael Kittle has never faced disciplinary action once. Out of 11 car crashes in your state-issued vehicle, no disciplinary action for 11 different crashes. You also need to realize that Michael Kittle was interviewed. Whenever you know a situation goes down and someone loses their life, every police officer is interviewed in detail. He says his reason for chasing Pamela is that she was abducted by knife point. If she didn't take her daughter at knife point, how did this story even appear out of thin air? You need to realize that she was abducted from a family. So if the family didn't detail that there was a knife involved, how in the hell did a knife pop up? Because it's starting to sound like, you know, someone just fabricated the story. In the last video I presented, you know, I told you guys to leave your feedback. I wanted you guys to talk about how did you feel about the police chasing her? How did you feel about the situation as a whole? And some of the comments were detailed that, well, you know, if she took her daughter at knife point, then the police are justified for chasing her for almost 30 minutes. Well, now that you know that Pamela Cabrera never abducted her daughter with a knife and she simply just took her daughter and drove off, how does that change that perspective for you now? It has to change, right? You need to realize that Pamela Cabrera had a mental illness. She was chased on the road by the police. They're saying that Vanity was in danger when in fact she was never in danger. You need to also realize that once the police caught up with Pamela, they didn't even try to save Vanity. The first person they went for was Pamela. Now I want you to add all those circumstances up. Pamela Cabrera never abducted her daughter at knife point. Therefore, there was no indication that Vanity was in any clear danger. Due to testimony from the family, they testify that, you know, she loved her daughter. She took good care of her. So if there was no violence involved in taking Vanity, how do you justify chasing Pamela down the road in a very dangerous high pursuit chase? Everything that was mentioned in that video was pulled from direct sources from the media. The media has basically controlled this narrative the entire time. In fact, the family hasn't even talked to the police after the incident. They haven't contacted them. I'm trying to tread lightly here, you know, because this type of shit makes my blood boil. You know, I don't have the biggest platform. I wish I could reach way more people. You know, I never asked you guys to like, share, or subscribe, but I am gonna ask you to share this video because, you know, this story needs to be out in the open. It makes no sense that the media is allowed to portray a story that didn't happen.